There's a sun coming up in my soul, Lord, in my soul. There's a sun coming up in my soul, Lord, in my soul. I see the light, I see the light. I see the light, I see the light. Oh, thank you, God, I see the light. Hey, hey. Oh, hey, hey. Oh, hey, hey. Oh, hey, hey. My beloved, bring me awake. Take me up to your resurrection place. My beloved, bring me awake, 'cause I want to feel your light upon my face. There's a sun coming up in my soul, Lord, in my soul. There's a sun coming up in my soul, Lord, in my soul. I see the light, I see the light. I see the light, I see the light. Oh, thank you, God, I see the light. Hey, hey. Oh, hey, hey. Oh, hey, hey. Oh, hey, hey. My beloved, take me away over Jordan, up out of this place. My beloved, for you I'll wait, with you here till forever, face to face. There's a sun coming up in my soul, Lord, in my soul. There's a sun coming up in my soul, Lord, in my soul. I see the light, I see the light. I see the light, I see the light. Oh, thank you, God, I see the light. Hey, hey. Oh, hey, hey. No more sorrow, no more pain, no more darkness weighing down on me. No longer blind, now I can see. Forever light, forever free. I see the light, I see the light. I see the light, I see the light. Oh, thank you, God, I see the light. Hey, hey. Whoa, hey, hey. Whoa, hey, hey. Whoa, hey, hey.
Welcome to online worship at St. John the Apostle United Methodist Church. We're so glad that you've chosen to worship with us today. You know, we have so many things that are going on here at SJA, and we'd love for you to be a part of every one of them if you'd like. Just check your e-news and see what's happening, and if you're not receiving the e-news for some reason, you're welcome to sign up by contacting the church office. We'd love to have you be part of everything we do here at St. John the Apostle. Let's worship the Lord as Sharon continues with our children's message today.
Hey kids, it's Miss Sharon. In the base camp room today, we're going to talk about... Oh, wait. Let me see if you can guess what we're going to talk about. Listen to this riddle. This is a type of fruit that you might eat at lunch. It's small and it's round and it comes in a bunch. Did you guess? Grapes. Yes, you're right. I knew you would know. Do you like grapes? You know, grapes can be red or purple or green, and recently I've seen a new kind of grape called a cotton candy grape. Oh, wow. Is it so sweet?
Yum!
When I was little, we had a grapevine in the backyard, and it grew right along a little chain link fence. Now, you remember how a grapevine grows, right? The leaves are connected to the branches, and the branches are connected to the trunk, and the trunk is connected to the roots, and the roots grow underground. You know, when you think about what a grapevine looks like, it's really no wonder that Jesus used the grapevine as an example one day when he was talking to his disciples. He wanted them to understand how they would help connect the whole world to him. So picture Jesus is the vine. In the Bible, in John 15, verse 5, it does say, I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain joined to me and I to you, you will bear a lot of fruit. You can't do anything without me. So Jesus is the vine, and he wants us to be connected to him always, and to have the fruit of his Spirit, to be filled with love and joy and peace. So you think about that the next time you have a bowl of grapes. I'll see you next week.
4.5 years ago, I got to go to Kenya for the very first time on a mission trip with a conference. It was an eye-opening experience for me, especially one morning when I woke up and I found an orange frog with yellow eyes inside my commode. Well, I won't go into details of what transpired that morning, but I will tell you that that frog and I came to an amicable agreement, and my life has never been the same since. Today is the second in a 6-week sermon series about Missio Dei, which is also known as the mission of God. As I said last week, God's mission is the redemption of all people everywhere. And as United Methodists, we participate in God's mission by living into the church's mission, which is to make disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world. Today, I'd like to share with you one of the mission experiences that has transformed me, others on teams that I have led, and people I've never met in and around Maua, Kenya. So let's get started. We're on God's mission in Kenya, Africa. The population of Kenya is about 52.57 million people. And currently in 2021, about 8 million people live on less than $1.90 a day. Now, a Kenya shilling is approximately equivalent to one of our pennies. So 8 million people live on 190 Kenya shillings per day. That doesn't buy very much in Kenya. When we go on our trips, we typically leave on a Thursday afternoon. We travel all day Thursday and sort of lose a day somehow and arrive on a Friday evening at about 9 or 10 p.m. That evening, we travel to Nairobi, Kenya. We get off the airplane there and travel to the Methodist guest house that's in Nairobi. This is a picture of our team that I believe went in 2018. And on Saturday morning, every team that I've taken takes a picture in front of the sign. And then we head off for Maua, which is about a 5.5 or 6 hour drive. On the road to Maua, we see things like this: automobiles and carts pulled by donkeys. And this, herds of cattle. And this, dump trucks right next to a cart that's filled with agricultural product. And this, motorcycles stacked high. And this, which is a taxi. People will load up on these, and the taxi driver will take them wherever they want to go. And then finally, we get to Maua, and we stay in the Maua Basin Hotel, which is our home for the week. The interior of that hotel is like a courtyard area, and off of that courtyard are various rooms. You can see that the windows open, and there's actually places where you can sit and visit, and this is our home for the week. We sleep underneath mosquito nets while we're there to protect from malaria and other mosquito-borne illnesses. And when we arrive, we end up with a luggage pile that looks like this. Our dining room is across the street at the Basin Hotel, and we typically sit at an L-shaped table like this, and you can see us all sitting there waiting to have our supper. And on my right, your right as well, is Diane from Tennessee, who will be joining our team next year as we go back to Tennessee. They have hot rags or hot towels that they give us, and they have lime with those hot towels, and you wash your hands before each meal, and the lime freshens your hands. It's a wonderful luxury. There's a sampling of the food bar that we have, and there's usually 2 or 3 different meat items on the bar, and then many different vegetables and salads and fruit and it's always very tasty. Then on Sunday, we wake up and we get ready to go to church. And this is one Sunday that we traveled in 2019, I believe. That's my daughter-in-law on your left and my friend Trish on the right, and several of the children that attend the church. This is Sunday school, where the children were singing to us in English. And between Sunday school and church, we get a wonderful snack with tea. We can have it with milk or without milk. Often we have potato or arrowroot or other fruits. And this is worship. Nobody stands still in a Kenyan worship service. It's exciting and dynamic and full, and people walk for miles to attend. After worship, we got to visit the children. We got to see a bit of the village that surrounds them. And we have a special relationship with the New Hope ECDE preschool. ECDE means Early Childhood Development Education. There's a church that sponsors that preschool, and the picture at the bottom left of the screen is a picture in 2018, when we were going to visit that school on a Sunday morning. They had waited for us. We had attended church at a different church, and after church, we had come over to see them, and we were told that there may be one or two people that would stay to welcome us, but so many in the congregation stayed. And the little girl in the front was singing at the top of her lungs. They were walking toward us and dancing and singing as they welcomed us to their church. And after that procession, they invited us actually to sing and dance as we joined them and went back to the church building. It was there that we presented them as a West District of the United Methodist Church with a check for $20,000 that every church in the district had contributed toward. And that $20,000 U.S. money turns into 2 million Kenyan shillings. It was given by the West District to build a well in that church, at that church, on the church grounds, for the school and the community. The picture on the right is a picture taken a year later in 2019 when they struck water. We actually arrived right after they had struck the water. Water was pouring everywhere. The children were singing and dancing. The women were singing and dancing. It was an exciting time, and that well has since been dedicated. And it not only serves the school that's there, it not only serves the church, but it serves an entire community of people that come, they fill up their water buckets, and they have a clean source of water to be able to drink from. Prior to receiving that well, they would go down the mountain to a tiny little spring. Some seasons when the rain came, it was very full. Some seasons when I was there, it was very dry, and yet they would fill their water there in the same hole that they would wash their clothes and bathe. Now they have fresh, clean, cold water that comes out of the ground for them. And this is just a picture of a child that was waving to us, one of the visits we made there. Monday through Wednesday, when we travel to Kenya, we work at the Maua Methodist Hospital. That's their front gate. And it was established in 1928 by the British Methodist missionaries, and it opened to the public in 1930. This is the chapel of the hospital. It's one of the first buildings that was built. You can't see the sides, but on the sides, the windows are very high. They're almost to the top by the roof, and that's because in the early days, people that did not like Christians and Christianity would come, and if the windows were lower, they would kill people through the windows with guns and other weapons, and so they built the church with the windows high. This is the open campus of the hospital. As people are healing at this hospital, If they're able to and they're not contagious, then they're able to go outdoors and enjoy the fresh air and the sunshine. And here's the front door where they have their vision and mission statement established for everybody to see, and patients would walk through that front door to be seen. Here's a sample of some of their gurneys. And one of their, I believe this is where you go to be triaged, to be seen before it's decided whether or not you will stay at the hospital. I'm showing this. This is a sample of one of their IV holders stands. And it was on a pedestal with 3 legs, but there was only a wheel on one leg. And they were using that. They would have to tip it to help the patient walk. They would have to tip that and maneuver that stand as they were trying to move around. Here's one of their wards with their beds. And that's Trish that I mentioned earlier. She's visiting with one of the patients, one of the younger patients. And Kevin Anderson, who's the Knox's son-in-law, visiting with a child in the hospital. And that's Hannah. She was the youth director out at the Mineral Wells Church, also praying with a very sick child in the hospital. This is their NICU, their neonatal ICU. We take gifts to them, blankets, baby blankets, some onesies, sometimes diapers, and you can see on the inside that their facility is probably much like what we might have had in the 50s and 60s. And I know of one church that's been working very diligently to try to help them upgrade some of their equipment. But in spite of the equipment they have saved many, many babies in that facility. It's an awesome, awesome place to be. This is a child that on our team in 2019, we had a doctor with us that was a surgeon, and this child needed some surgery. And so after the surgery was over, she was playing with one of the gloves and blowing it up and making it into a puppet. In addition to the work at the hospital, we have helped do other projects around the campus. That's me with the machete, so watch out. But one of the big projects that we've helped with is to help build a wall around the exterior of the campus to keep stray dogs and other wild animals out of the campus. And there's some of the workers that we lifted those heavy, heavy, heavy bricks, put them in wheelbarrows and wheeled them down to where they were putting up the wall. Another project we've done is painting the inside of the chapel. There you can see those windows that are up so high. And here is a house that we're building. That's another project that we do, is we build a house for families that are affected by HIV/AIDS. So there's a team working on that house. There's Kevin again, popping his head in there in the right-hand side. And after we build the house, we get to name them. And so we've had a house of blessing, a house of hope. We've had a house of joy that we've built. And then the one that's in Swahili is that those are the words that mean God is big enough, which, as you know, is a movement across our conference with the bracelets that say God is big enough. And that is, we translated it into Swahili. We took bracelets with the Swahili words that we handed out on that trip. And every time that family goes into that house, they see that God is big enough. This is the head builder, and he's been with us on every build that we've done. He's done hundreds and hundreds of homes for the people of Kenya. And this is the home that we build. It basically, you see it has 2 doors. It's very much like a small house that I have on display in my office. There's 2 doors, and between the doors on the inside, there is a wall so that you can have a girl's side and a boy's side if you'd like. And through the years, the house has been that we make, each time we build a house, it is put in the name officially and legally of the youngest child of that house, so that that child will always have a place to live. No matter if the older children get married or what happens, that child will always have a place to live, and they can allow their family to also stay there. You'll see it has a cement foundation. Most homes in Kenya, in this area where we were building, have dirt floors, and often in the rainy season, the water just runs right through their homes. So this gets them out of the water, off the ground. They get bedding. They build an outdoor latrine, and they're safe from the environment and the weather, and it's just an upgrade for them. So this is a dedication of a house, and when we dedicate a house, the entire community that lives around that house comes out. The hospital folks come out. There's singing, there's dancing. Everybody is joyful. And we give them a certificate that says that house is donated to them. That young man and his sister there is about 18. I believe he was about 12 in this picture. She gave up going to school to take care of him. And now they have a home that they can live in that'll be safe for both of them. And it's just a huge blessing, and it's very emotional for me. This is Stanley. You're going to get to meet Stanley in October, as long as COVID doesn't mess up his travel plans. Stanley is the inspiration behind so much of the ministry that goes on in Maua and the community. After we finish working all Monday through Thursday at the hospital and at the house, on Friday, we go do a clinic at one of the schools in the outside of Maua. This, I believe, was the 2018 trip, and those clergy at the bottom that you see wearing blue, and they were the ones, they kept going, they kept telling that little boy, do this, and he would do that. And so that's why that picture looks so crazy, but you can see, I know that's sort of a fuzzy picture, thousands of children at that school that came out that day, that were at the school when we arrived to do the clinic. And the clergy in the bottom of that picture would play for hours with them. I'm over in that right-hand side picture. You can see my white hair glowing. And those children wanted to know what I had in my suitcase, and I had all sorts of gifts and books and pencils and all kinds of school supplies and soccer balls to give them, and they knew they were going to get something, but they were just ready to see what it was going to be. This is the inside. Usually they clear out a classroom for us. You can see in the center top picture that people are lined up for a long way out. Those are adults from the community that have come to the clinic. And then you can see on the right-hand top picture, they're testing for diabetes. At the bottom-hand right picture, there's students from the school that are peeking through a broken window to see what's going on inside. The bottom middle picture is, I believe she's doing a blood pressure check, and then the little boy on the left side, he was one of the success stories. His grandma brought him. They diagnosed him with a very serious condition, and from that point on, the hospital was able to help him out. There's another picture of another team that's doing another clinic. It's a different classroom, but you sort of get the feel of their classrooms. You can see sort of what their desks look like. Those wooden structures are their desks. The floor at this school, I believe, is a dirt floor. But they've got the big chalkboard, and they have class in there when they set the desks up for the classroom. And then on Saturday, we have to say goodbye to Maua. That's my friend John. John has a little store that's close to the Maua Basin Hotel. He's a wonderful person, and he was dressed up that day in his tribal dress, and so I wanted a picture with John, and so that's a special picture to me. So on Saturday, then we say goodbye, and we head back toward Nairobi. On the way, we stop at the equator. That's the picture on the left. We take a picture at the equator, at the sign there, and then we go on safari for a few days. The last couple of years, we've gone to the Sweetwaters camp. I've also been my very first trip to the western side of the country to Masai Mara, and also this coming year, we're going to be trying out a new camp for safari. But you see how the vans that we've been riding in all week long, they lift up the top. You're able to stand up, take pictures, and actually get up close and personal with the animals. And there's some of the pictures I've taken, the elephant and the male lion. The picture of the mountain is Mount Kenya, which is the highest point in Kenya. And then there's 2 female lions. I've got lots of safari pictures, but I'm only going to show you a few. And the giraffe, the acacia tree, which of course is sort of like a symbol of Kenya and Africa itself. And the sunset. So that's the presentation that I have for you for our mission trip. We will be taking a team from St. John the Apostle in July of 2022. We are beginning our team meetings. We're beginning work on preparations so that we're ready to go to be a people of mission for the people of Kenya, to be helpful, to be kind, and I can't wait to introduce my friends here from SJA to my friends in Kenya, because I know that this is going to become a strong relationship that we'll all be glad to be a part of. So may the Lord bless us all in this time, and may your Sunday be a Sunday of blessing in which you too can bless others. Amen.
I see the light, I see the light. I see the light, I see the light. Oh, thank